Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahawah by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honors to my apostles and others, great millstones. Salutations to the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm the brother Kabash from the GMS Atlanta camp, and I'm here with the hope for the fire. Let's do the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Shai to feed the hope for that way. I'm going to get into this short clip right quick. This is going into Venezuela post or after the earthquake event that happened down there in South America. It was reported that tens of thousands of people died over there in the earthquake. And it was earthquake back to back too. You know, even besides Venezuela. I think in the past 48 hours, I think a week ago, it was reports of earthquakes simultaneously happening at the same time, and a lot of them being in the sevens. So this is a sure sign of Yahawah when I was shot coming back. And in this news, it reported days after the earthquake, the sky turned red down there. And the Lord spoke about the signs in the heavens. And also, too, the Lord said it would be perplexity amongst the people everywhere in the world, especially over here in America, man. You can look on social media. It's not about fun, man, or showing off materialistic things or just being simple. No, these people are recording their murders. They're recording killings and people just doing bad to each other. It don't matter what age you are. The social media is showing it all. And you think the Lord is just sitting around and letting this thing happen? No. The Lord is allowing Esau to build a case on y'all, just like he's doing with Esau and the rest of the world. And then he's going to allow this devil to come down with great wrath upon you, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You Israelites, the Lord's going to allow Esau to come down with great wrath because the Lord long suffered your foolishness. He long suffered your abomination ways, your despicable acts. The Lord allowed you to do that, and He's still continually to let you go in the way of death until He judges you, which a lot of you Jakes are getting judged. Besides Jake that died in Venezuela, which are of the tribe of Asher, recently you just had a influencer on social media. She passed away by way of gunfire. Her name was Bree. She was a Instagram influencer. And a lot of influencers are dying too. It don't matter what age, what gender. The Lord is starting at the house of Israel first. And the love of many is waxing cold. You got people going against their own relatives, people taking themselves out. And then you got these other nations, they steadily, especially Esau, they continually is pursuing you Jakes with death, with a murder intent. You just had this one Jake that went on some type of boat trip with a couple of Edomites, and he ended up being found dead on a nearby island. And you got these children. I heard through the grapevine, it's a lot of kids being snatched up after the earthquake in Venezuela. And you know, you have former government officials so-called sponsoring, looking for missing children in the earthquake, but really it's a cover-up to really kidnap the children and you know, basically have their way with them in a wicked, sinister way. So there's all type of things going on, man, besides World War III and the Strait of Hormuz, being locked down and causing a ripple effect in the earth. So we in some troubling times, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and play
Days
the
after
video.
Venezuela's
Then I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures.
devastating earthquakes, the sky over
See,
Caracas
days after the
turned a
earthquake.
dramatic, blood-red, sparking widespread speculation online. While many link the phenomenon to the recent disaster, scientists say it was caused by normal atmospheric physics. A low sun angle combined with Saharan dust and airborne particles intensified the red hues through Rayleigh scattering. Although the timing was striking, experts confirmed the vivid sunset had no direct connection to the earthquakes.
Come on now. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. And there should be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. And also, too, in Atlanta, it was a red moon over the Mercedes-Benz Stadium during the FIFA game. Right here it says, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, people are frantic about tomorrow. A lot of people coming on social media disclosing their frustrations about the times in America, especially America being in a state now that people can no longer sustain themselves because America is a weak economy. And also, two people are afraid to go outside, afraid to go to the store, because people are losing their minds, man. People are losing their minds, and you have despicable news coming out about the government and their buddies, they high-level, high-profile buddies like Epstein and whatnot. And the people are just fed up, man. But the Lord is stirring it because he's causing these people to go along to towards his scripture. So like you for being tongue-tied. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yep, and this happening right now. And it's going to be on a whole nother level. Like the movie The Road, like the movie I Am Legend, like the movie Contagion. Verse 16, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. Yeah, so the Lord is going to have it to where it's going to be all anarchy out here. It's going to be lawless, especially over here in the States. Illinois already have a Purge Act, and I think it's nationwide that police ain't got to respond to a 911 call. It depends on what the 911 call is about. So right here it says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions should stand in their power. And Trump is already making executive orders come to life as far as people talking about the Bible. You got the C9 bill that came from Canada. In a roundabout way, Trump is saying the same thing about people coming out of the Bible, about certain laws that they don't agree with that America is allowing, and et cetera, et cetera. All these things is to fulfill prophecy. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, because he's going to have checkpoints. Esau is going to come down with great wrath. Then they already got sleeper cells. They already got troops and whatnot in these states. training and whatnot. You had J Him in 2015. $17 years ago. So how much more right now where all this chaos is going on? Verse 18, for because of their pride, yeah, a lot of people is in pride, man, especially our people, because they ain't repenting. All this hell that Esau, the so-called white man, put on us, and y'all still ain't waking up to see that he's at his end. This nigga was prosperous, man. We was in slave chains. He took the land from our ancestors also, our kinfolk, so-called Native American Indians, Gad, so-called Mexicans, Issachars. It's like Issachar and so-called Syrian Indians, the Reubenites, so-called Guatemalans, tribe of Zebulon. They slaughter our people. But here it is, UJ's forgetting that he had us as Atlanta slave trade. He had us building up his nation. And now a lot of you niggas is siding with this damn devil. And you coming up against brothers that's coming out with the truth. Well, like the Lord said in 2 chapter 9, when repentance was open unto them, they understood it not. So UJ's going to keep going in your folly, just like they had a lot of deaths up there in Chicago this past 4th of July. Really, the 4th of July was a lot of people going back to the spirit world. And prior to the 4th of July, the same week and the week before last, a lot of people went back to the spirit world, man. And guess what? A lot of people is not going to know about the scourges that the Lord's putting on the earth because the Lord has blinded them. But only the men of the Lord are going to know what the Lord is bringing on the earth right now because of his prophecy. But this is what's going to go down, man. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yep, and it's going to happen in these times, man. And besides third world countries and whatnot, it's definitely happening over in America. It's just not being disclosed on the mainstream media stage. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and that now, it's like it, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time, meaning what? This is, Jake, this is not our rest, like it says in Micah chapter 2, verse 10. And all these things that are happening, the Lord told Ezra what? To measure the times. The elect will measure the times that the Lord spoke about concerning the last days. We're in the end of the last days. The last days started when Yahawah, the 12 disciples, came on the scene in 1st century AD during the Roman Empire time, when the remnant of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, stayed over in Jerusalem and was subjected to the Romans. And now you have a little over 2,000 years later, the Lord has not commenced judgment, just like Yahawah prophesied along with the other prophets before him about the last days, but the Lord is doing it. He's selling the elect. He got the elect in order. He's reproving Esau, pursuant to Psalms chapter 50. He's reproving Esau through the men of the Lord, and also by way of the prophecies of the Lord taking Esau down. And these other nations is going to follow suit, and they're going to go into slavery. Just like it says in Revelation chapter 20. So we in that time, but a lot of our people thinking that it's not going to happen. But that's what the Lord want Jake to think, and he want the rest of the world to think that way. The Lord said what? The rest was blinded, but the election have obtained it. Romans chapter 11, verse 7. So we know in the time that is what? High time to wake up out of sleep. This is a priority for us to not be asleep as people in the world, and being asleep like the people in the world is you not knowing the Lord, you not knowing His truth. It is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Verse 12, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Yep, and that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing, man. We're repenting to Yahawah Shai. We're putting on the armor of light, which is this truth. We got this truth within our minds, and we constantly meditating on it every day until the Lord changes us when he comes back. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Shai. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Today I'm going to say shalom.